Okay, hi, I'm Emmanuel, and this is Katrine, and we are recording for the gender roles interview, and I will ask a series of questions. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you is if you would rather work for a male or female boss, and why?
Man, thinking about it, I never really had a preference on who I would want to work under. It's, either way, I still get to work. It's not, I don't know what's the difference between having a male or a female.
Do you think a female would be more bossy, or a male would be more bossy towards you?
Oh man.
Say if you worked at a department store,
Uh-huh.
do you think a male boss would be more bossier than a female boss?
Well, when I worked for Target, it was definitely, it was equal. My guy supervisors never really told me to do more of what the girl supervisors would say. So it was just equal. As long as I could finish my job, that was just it.
I'll ask you another question. Which gender do you think makes the best boss?
Which gender do I think makes the best boss?
Is it male or is it female? Would you rather have a girl boss or would you rather have a guy boss?
I've had both, but I really don't see a difference. I can connect to both of them, to both male and female, and there's really no difference for me. I'm very open-minded when it comes to work. I'm just there to work, earn money. I don't really compare my male supervisors to my female supervisors, so I can't really say which one or which gender is better at having a leader role.
Do you see more male bosses or more female bosses?
Oh, male bosses.
Really? Why do you think that is?
I think just in general, society looks at them as more the gender that's better at leading a group of people. Because I don't know. I think a lot of people just see them as a good leader with a lot of power.
So then I guess we could transition to this other question. Why are so many women, why aren't that many women in top positions? Why don't women hold why don't women hold a lot of top positions in today's society?
I think it's just not a lot of people know that we have so much capabilities of doing our job. We can work hard, but not a lot of people see that because I think they see women as someone who stays home, take care of the house, take care of the kids, and not someone who earns the money for their family.
No, yeah, because I see it too sometimes.
I think it all depends on the culture. I mean, being in an Asian culture, I know there's never really, being Filipino, I've never really seen my mom be the one in charge of the house. It's always equal. Definitely my mom has a lot more say than my dad because that's how their marriage goes. But in terms of like their roles, no one's really more powerful than the other.
So then, would you think that women are starting to move up in the household in terms of leading more of the finances, more of the ways to do things around the house, what to do, activities for the family? Do you think they're starting to lead that more than men?
And I don't know because I can't say much. I mean, we all live in different families in different situations. My family, my mom is usually the one who takes care of finances, but of course with supervision of my dad. But in terms of just any other family or family in general, I don't know about what women do in their family. But I would say with the whole like feminism, like empowerment of women, I'm seeing more of women working for themselves, basically being the head of the family.
Do you think there are any jobs that would be only for men or only for women?
No, I don't think so. I think every gender is equal. My dad's a nurse. A lot of people stereotype nurses as women. Before it was like 95 to 97% women that were in the nurse field, because women are looked at as healers, but you know, men can also be nurturing. Men can be caring just like women. Women can be strong. They can, you know, they can be like handy people, I guess. So they can definitely become construction workers. They can be really handy in terms of that. There's really no limit to anything when it comes to gender.
Is there any difference between the way men and women drive?
Yes, there is a big difference. I think a lot of women depend on their partner, their husbands, to drive, because I don't know, driving is just tiring for us women, but there is definitely a big difference between female drivers and male drivers, but doesn't mean that female drivers are bad, but there is a slight difference there. I don't know how to parallel park, but you would know how to parallel park. Yeah.
Who do you think is a better driver, men or women?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm better at driving than my dad. My dad's a slow driver, but when it comes to people my age and that are men, yeah, I think they're up there. I think they're better than.
Which gender talks the most?
Us women. I think we talk the most because we just have a lot to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we see like the tiny little detail of things, and then if we don't like it, of course we're gonna say it. I don't know. I think we put our emotions out more than men do. So.
What happens?
Oh man.
How would you react if you saw a male person gossiping to you? What would you think about him? Do you think he's breaking that gender rule?
Oh no, I think it's normal. Being Filipino, all gender gossip. No matter if you're a guy or if you're a girl, you gossip. So
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Why do you think fewer women watch sports? Like football or baseball or basketball?
Because we'd rather watch something else. I don't know, it doesn't, well for me it doesn't interest me as much. I mean, I love basketball, I would watch basketball anytime, but I think it's just we'd rather much do something else other than watch sports. Unless you're in Alabama, so it's like everyone watches football all the time.
So boys and girls play with different toys when they're little. Do you think that they prefer different toys because we give them their set gender toys, like boys with trucks and girls with dolls? Or do you think the child decides on his own?
I think a child decides on his own. When I was younger, I flip-flopped. I like cooking toys like pots and pans, pretending how to cook, and but there are times when I would play with cars. I think it all depends on the child, really. It's whatever interests them. I know my little brother, he liked a lot of girl toys. He liked dolls.
Yeah.
He liked dolls more than I did. And you know, I would try to look. I remember I would try to look for my dolls, but then I see my little brother playing with them. So he took more interest in dolls, and I took more interest in cars when we grew up. So I think it all depends on the child. not what the parents give them.
Okay. Do you think it should be encouraged or discouraged for parents to make their boys play with more feminine gendered toys, or vice versa?
Yeah. In terms of discourage or encourage, I mean, I wouldn't discourage them not to, but I wouldn't encourage them to. I'm kind of like neutral. It's whatever, like before it's like whatever they want to do. I mean, there's a lot going on with that question actually.
Yeah.
Because if I were to be a parent, I definitely wouldn't encourage or discourage them to do something or to like something because it's their life. I don't know.
Cool. Do you think the way that a person is raised can affect their gender identity?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. Like personal experience, my aunt wanted a daughter, and she got a son. And she doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have a partner. So it was just her with my dad and my uncles taking care of the kid. But I remember she wanted a girl so bad, and she would dress him up on like hand-me-down clothes. She would buy like dolls. She would have him dolls. I don't remember. Well, I remember him having like a little bit of car toys coming from my brothers and I, but I remember him having a lot more dolls than anything. 'Cause, like I said, my aunt really wanted a girl, and when I came back home, he was like a girl. He didn't want to be a boy. He didn't want to have the parts that boys do. The boys have. I think it definitely, how you raise your kid definitely has an impact on their gender identity.
Good job. Okay, that's a wrap.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it did.